Welcome back everyone to the video, and today we are going over our week 5 picks, but also making all of our picks for week 6. Now week 5, just to jump right into it, week 5 was our best week yet, only 3 losses, so I was very happy with that because the first couple weeks a little shaky. I think we were like I think we broke even the first week, and then the second and third week was a little rough. Fourth week much better, and then last week only 3 losses, and honestly I'm fine with these because I really would not have picked the Cardinals to march in there to San Francisco and get that win. I didn't think the Patriots were going, or sorry, the Dolphins would have pulled that off. No, the Patriots. I'm not sure. I think I did the thing wrong. I think I picked the Dolphins. But anyway, the Seahawks to win that one. I mean, blocked field goal. You know, like it is what it is. I'm very happy with the other picks. And yeah, I'm not sure why that game confused me. I picked the Patriots to win. They did not. So yeah. But anyway, otherwise, I think we had some good picks. We did pick the Falcons in that Thursday night game, which was crazy, like 500 yards passing for Kirk Cousins. The Texans barely pulled that one off. Same with the Cowboys. Same with the Packers. That one was very close as well. And then even the Ravens, they had to kind of come back and beat the Bengals there. So a few games turned our way. Very happy with it. And now on to week 6. So this week, the Vikings, the Chiefs, the Rams, and I believe the Dolphins are all on a bye week. So the first game Thursday night, 49ers at Seattle. I'm going to pick the Seahawks in this game. I think Seattle is very easily overlooked, and they're a really good team. The 49ers have struggled a lot. They need McCaffrey back on the field as soon as possible. Obviously, he needs to be fully healthy so he doesn't get re-injured, but they really they seem out of sync without him. I think at a lot of points in the game, you can see where he would have been huge for them down the stretch, where just the addition of him in the running game, what he does in the receiving game, I mean, he makes defenses have to prepare totally different when playing the 49ers. Without him, I'm not going to say it's easier to defend the 49ers. Well, I'm not going to say it is easier. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it is easier to defend them. I think the Seahawks can pull this one off there at home in Seattle, Thursday night football. So I'm picking the Seahawks in that one. Next is the Jaguars and the Bears. The Jaguars, they get their first win, which we did pick this past week. They're at home against the Colts. However, now going on the road, playing against that Bears defense, I don't love it for them. I'm going to pick the Bears here. Caleb Williams did kind of have his big breakout game last week against Carolina, which I literally said, for the record, if I felt that he was going to break out at any point, it would have been that Carolina game. And so there we have it. It was just, first off, it just lined up too perfectly for him to go off against the Panthers because they could have had him, and then they didn't because of the horrible trade. But then just also the way he had been progressing throughout the year, you could tell he was getting much better, kind of settling in. So I figured that could have been a big game for him, and it was, and I expect him to build off of that this week against the Jaguars in Chicago. So I'm picking the Bears in that one. Next is the Commanders and the Ravens. I'm honestly not sure how to feel about this game because I didn't think the Commanders would be this good. I thought Jaden Daniels would show some flashes, but overall it was a very iffy team for me this year. I didn't think they'd amount to a whole lot of wins, but right now they're playing quite well. The Ravens have been good, but they've also been a little inconsistent. They struggled a bit more against the Bengals than I would have liked them to. They lost to the Raiders a few weeks ago, so they are not unbeatable, but I am going to pick them. I'm not going to pick against them when they're there in Baltimore. I think Derrick Henry can really expose the Washington defense a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. But, I mean, right now, Jaden Daniels is a tough guy to pick against. He's played near flawless, basically, in every game at this point. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. I'm very excited to watch that game. I think we'll get to see a lot of what Jaden Daniels can do against some of the best the league has to offer. So that's a really exciting game for me, but I am going to pick the Ravens. And then for the Texans and the Patriots, I'm going to pick the Texans here. I'm really excited to see Drake May, and I mean, look, I don't know all the ins and outs of the Patriots, decision to do this and everything, but in my mind, you're starting Drake May against the Texans, whereas last week, you're playing the Dolphins. That was a much easier opponent, and if Drake May was that close to starting anyway, why wouldn't you just start him last week, let him build some confidence against a much worse opponent, and then have him, go to the Texans if that makes more sense? That's just kind of what I thought. I was a little surprised they're going to throw him in right now. No bye week or anything. Hope the best for him, but I don't like this matchup at all. I'm picking the Texans here. I think Drake May will be very good. And back during the draft, I honestly had Drake May a little above Jaden Daniels. I thought he could be really, really good. Jaden Daniels, I think, has set the bar so high now where I don't think any rookie quarterback this year will kind of surpass the level he's playing at if he continues to play at that level. But Drake May can still be very good. However, will he be very good in his first NFL start ever against that Texans defense? I'm not super sold on that. So I'm going to pick the Texans there. But I would love for Drake May to prove me wrong. But I'm picking the Texans. Next is the Buccaneers and the Saints. I'm picking the Buccaneers. Derek Carr out for a few weeks with that, I think, oblique injury, I think it was. So, and Buccaneers have played very well the past few weeks. This one, I'm not going to say it's an easy game. I think the Buccaneers usually struggle there in New Orleans, but I mean, if Spencer Rattler is going to start for New Orleans, I don't feel great about that. And if, what was his name, Jake Hayner, I think, if he starts, I don't feel great about that either. So I'm just not really confident in the Saints this week. I'm picking the Buccaneers in that one. Next is the Eagles and the Browns. I'm going to pick the Eagles here. The Browns have struggled a lot off and on. I'm just not sold on Deshaun Watson. I honestly think he's really, really, really bad. And I think the Eagles are not as good as they should be, but they are good enough to beat the Browns, especially they're in Philadelphia. So I'm picking the Eagles in that game. Colts and Titans, I'm picking the Colts. And at this point, it's like I'm not going to pick Will Levis to win a football game. As bad as that sounds, I don't feel confident in him, honestly. If he proves me wrong, I'll take my L there. But I'm not confident at all in the Titans offense, whether it's led by him or someone else. I can't pick him right now. So I'm going with the Colts too. Again, they've been a bit inconsistent on offense too. But I have to go with the team I'm more confident in, and that team is not the one led by Will Levis or his backup. So, yeah, picking the Colts there. Next game, Cardinals and Packers. This is a very tough one to pick for me, actually, because the Cardinals, what they showed last week, I'm like, okay, they could kind of go into Lambeau and give the Packers a game and win this. And then, last week, Packers got a pretty gutsy win against the Rams. Maybe they're not playing as polished as you'd like them to, but again, this is kind of how it was last year for them too, and as the season went on, they got a lot better. So I'm going to go with the Packers here, but I think this will be a very close game. I was very close to picking the Cardinals in the upset here, but I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm a bit more confident in them. I like Jordan Love a lot. But again, Kyler Murray, he's played very, very well. I don't think it's talked about enough because of the Call of Duty jokes and everything. Kyler Murray is a good quarterback, and I said that back in February whenever he's going to be healthy again for this year. I did a ranking, and I kind of, singled him out and literally said, like, this is someone that should be taken seriously this year. Kyler's a great player, does not get the respect he deserves a lot of times, though. And so, again, maybe I'm counting him out too early against the Packers. I don't know, but I'm going with Jordan Love and the Packers in that one. Next is the Chargers and the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Broncos, and it's weird because I don't really have a lot of confidence in the Broncos. I don't love this team, but they managed to really get some pretty tough wins. Games that probably shouldn't have gone their way. Games that they probably shouldn't be competitive in, that they are competitive in. And so I'm going with them. The Chargers, I think, have quite a few question marks. Herbert, I would assume he's playing, but even if he is, not even close to full health with that ankle injury. And then if he's not playing, I'm especially not going to pick them. So, yeah, I'm picking the Broncos. I just think the Chargers are at a pretty rough point right now, which I think we all kind of knew. I mean, it's kind of more of like a rebuilding, retooling, whatever you want to call it. I don't think the expectations were super high to begin with. I think it's just kind of the struggles we expected. So I'm picking the Broncos in that one. Next is the Steelers and the Raiders. I'm going to pick the Steelers. The Raiders, I think, benched Minshew. They're now starting Aiden O'Connell. I don't care, to be honest. It doesn't really change my opinion on the Raiders or my feelings on that offense. No Devontae Adams. No, there's no dynamic factor to the offense. It's very just kind of bland. They don't do a lot of things well. They don't do a lot of things terribly. They're just pretty below average, and that's about it. Steelers, very competitive. Nearly beat the Cowboys last week there in Pittsburgh. So I'm picking the Steelers in that one again this week. Next is the Falcons and the Panthers. I'm picking the Falcons. Panthers fan, I don't like the Falcons at all, but I don't think they have a chance in this game the way they've been playing. Yeah, they beat the Raiders, and after that, they competed with the Bengals, and then it's just kind of gone back downhill. No Adam Thielen. Falcons are playing pretty good right now, coming off that huge primetime win last week. I'm picking the Falcons by probably 14 points in that game. Next is the Lions and the Cowboys. I believe this is Sunday night. No, just kidding. 4 o'clock game. I'm picking the Lions in this. I think the Lions are very, very good. I think the Cowboys are good, but I think the Cowboys just aren't quite on the level we're used to. They are also completely depleted at pass rush. They have no Micah Parsons. They have no DeMarcus Lawrence. They have no Sam Williams. And I can't remember what his first name is, but Nealand, I think. He actually hurt his knee this past week, has to have surgery, so he's not back yet. I think he's supposed to be back in a few weeks. But, yeah, not great. So I'm picking the Lions. I'm not sure how you're going to get to Jared Goff and make him uncomfortable with that week of a pass rush. Cowboys offense still pretty good. You got CeeDee Lamb there. Don't love their running back room, but I'm picking the Lions. And then Sunday Night Football, Bengals and Giants. I'm going to pick the Bengals here, but to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants won this game. A bit of an upset there. The Bengals just have not been able to close out games they should be winning. Burrow is playing great considering they're like 1-4, but it's not behind any wins. So, am I happy with the way the Giants have played? Either, no, not really, but they have got some pretty impressive wins. Daniel Jones has played, I think, a bit better than I've expected, but again, I don't have a lot of confidence picking the Giants in games. I'm more confident what the Bengals have shown, and just hopefully they can finally close out a game. That defense has been horrendous. But Joe Burrow, though, playing great football. I'm picking the Bengals there in Sunday Night Football. And then finally, Jets and Bills. I'm picking the Jets. A little bit of an upset pick. I believe the Bills are favored in this game by a little bit. But this is a rematch of the game Rodgers got hurt in last year to open up the season. Monday Night Football. I think the Jets win this one as well. The Bills have played very good football. The Jets have been very shaky, but big divisional game. I think the Jets come up big in this. Khalil Shakir for the Bills is also, I believe, questionable with an ankle injury as of right now. He missed last week. Will he miss this week? I don't know, but I mean, he's kind of Allen's top target at this point, and if he's not full health, don't love that either. Keon Coleman's been pretty good too in his absence, but again, I think the Jets kind of pull this game off. I just have a gut feeling almost. Not much of a good excuse, I guess. Maybe you guys don't agree with that one, but I do think it's a game the Jets can surprise some people in. So I'm picking the Jets in that. That's kind of it for my week picks, though. Let me know down below the games you agree or disagree with. I think we can build on this. I'm happy with my only 3 loss week last week. I'm hoping to get no more than about 4 losses this week. So we'll see if we can pull that off. If you guys are new on here, though, be sure leave a like down below. It is free and takes just a second, along with hitting the subscribe button for more NFL content like this. I do week picks. I do random NFL videos. I rank teams. I rank players. So it's always NFL content on the channel. So yeah, if you like the NFL, subscribe. Road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.